The drama surrounding Nate Tibbetts and the Phoenix Mercury has turned into one of the most explosive controversies in WNBA history. What started as a simple post-game comment has snowballed into a potential league-wide scandal that could shake the foundation of how free agency operates. When the Mercury head coach casually admitted to pursuing Diana Bonner over multiple offseasons, he may have done more than just speak. Too freely, he may have confessed to orchestrating one of the most blatant cases of tampering the league has ever seen. It all began when the Indiana Fever thought they had made the perfect move. After years of rebuilding, the team was ready to turn the corner. They had the generational superstar Caitlin Clark, the dominant young center Aaliyah Boston, and now they had added Diana Bonner, a seasoned veteran with championship experience. The Fever believed Bonner's leadership would steady their young roster and accelerate their path to contention. Local media called it the missing piece, and analysts praised Indiana for finally building around their young stars with veteran poise. The excitement was palpable. Fans envisioned Bonner mentoring Clark, helping her navigate the grueling expectations of her sophomore season and teaching her how to thrive under pressure. For a moment, it looked like everything was aligning. But before the Fever could even settle into their rhythm, the dream collapsed. Just 9 games into the season, Bonner abruptly requested a trade. When the move didn't materialize fast enough, the Fever released her entirely. The decision stunned everyone: fans, analysts, even members of the front office. The official explanation was vague: fit issues. The team claimed Bonner's style didn't align with Clark's pace-heavy offense, but nobody truly believed that. 9 games was nowhere near enough time to judge chemistry. Soon after, fans began noticing strange patterns. Bonner's energy seemed distant during games. Her interactions with teammates were minimal. She took an unexplained personal leave. It felt as though she was never truly invested in Indiana. Online communities exploded with speculation, accusing Bonner of using the Fever as a stepping stone to secure her next move, back to the Phoenix Mercury. The theory was that she had signed a maximum contract with Indiana only to position herself for an eventual return to Phoenix once the Mercury cleared salary cap space. At first, these claims seemed like emotional fan theories, but then came the moment that changed everything. A viral clip of Nate Tibbetts, Phoenix's head coach, speaking to reporters after a game. With a grin, he said something that would send shockwaves through the league. Luckily, the last 2 off-seasons, we've tried to get DB to come back to Phoenix. Unfortunately, she didn't pick us twice. 3rd time's a charm. I think helped in that a little bit. That single sentence was enough to ignite a firestorm. DB was obviously Diana Bonner, and AT referred to Alyssa Thomas, Bonner's fiancée and current WNBA star. The subtext was crystal clear. Tibbetts had been trying to recruit Bonner while she was still under contract with other teams, and Alyssa Thomas might have played a role in convincing her to return to Phoenix. It was casual, even playful the way he said it. But to those who understood the rules, it was a confession. Tampering in professional sports is no small thing. It's a direct violation of league policy designed to maintain competitive balance. Coaches and executives are prohibited from recruiting or contacting players who are under contract elsewhere. What Tibbetts described wasn't persistence. It was potentially a multi-year scheme to lure Bonner back to Phoenix using personal and professional relationships. His own words mapped out a timeline that violated multiple clauses in the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement. The fallout was immediate. Fans clipped the quote, stripped it from context, and spread it across social media. Phoenix receipts started trending within hours. Commentators couldn't believe it. A head coach openly bragging about tampering on camera. The most damning part was his mention of Alyssa Thomas. If Thomas had even casually influenced Bonner's decision while still a member of another team, that would be a breach of professional ethics. Supporting your partner's career is one thing, but serving as an unofficial recruiter while under another team's payroll is a direct conflict of interest. The WNBA has always preached about maintaining integrity, but their silence on this issue has been deafening. Months have passed since Tibbetts' comments, and there's been no official statement, no investigation, nothing. That inaction has fans furious. The Fever gave Bonner a max contract in good faith. They built around her, marketed her as the veteran presence who would mentor Caitlin Clark, and shape their offense to accommodate her. But what they got was a player who looked mentally checked out, played average basketball for 9 games, and then walked away, only to end up in Phoenix, exactly where Tibbetts had been trying to bring her all along. The financial and emotional damage to Indiana can't be understated. The Fever are still paying part of Bonner's salary, even though she's now wearing a Mercury jersey. That's money that could have gone toward developing their young core or signing another reliable veteran. For fans, the betrayal feels personal. They invested in Bonner's arrival, bought her jersey, celebrated her as part of their future, only to realize she may have been planning her exit from day one. The league's lack of response raises deeper concerns. If Phoenix gets away with this, what message does it send to other teams? That tampering is fine as long as you don't say it on national television? That players can sign contracts without any real commitment as long as they eventually find a way out? For a league striving to grow its fan base, sponsorships, and credibility, this silence is dangerous. The WNBA can't afford to let rules become optional, not when its audience is more engaged and vocal than ever. Even neutral analysts who usually avoid controversy have acknowledged that this situation looks terrible. The optics are awful. A veteran player manipulating contracts, a head coach publicly confirming what fans already suspected, and a league office pretending nothing happened. If this were the NBA, fines, suspensions, and loss of draft picks would already be on the table. Yet here there's nothing but silence. And that silence is starting to sound like complicity. The truth is, this scandal might only be the tip of the iceberg.
If the league starts digging into the Phoenix-Bonner connection,
it might uncover similar arrangements happening behind the scenes elsewhere. Handshake deals, back-channel communication, and unspoken alliances between players and coaches. Maybe that's why the WNBA doesn't want to open Pandora's box, but avoiding the problem only makes it worse. Meanwhile, the Fever are left with the wreckage. Caitlin Clark is battling through injuries, Aaliyah Boston is carrying the load, and fans are wondering how the team can ever trust the system again. The Fever did everything right on paper. They built a promising young roster, they added experience, and they followed the rules. Yet they were the ones burned. At its core, this isn't just about one team or one player. It's about integrity. It's about whether the WNBA wants to be taken seriously as a professional league where rules matter, or whether it's content to let the biggest names play by their own set of standards. Because if the league doesn't step up, fans will remember. The next time a team loses a free agent unexpectedly or a player forces their way out, they'll think back to Phoenix and Bonner. They'll remember that the rules didn't protect Indiana, and they'll wonder who they'll fail next. So, what happens now? That depends on whether the league has the courage to act. Will the WNBA investigate Tibbetts' comments and set a precedent that tampering won't be tolerated? Or will they bury the story and hope fans forget? The answer will determine whether this was just a PR embarrassment or the beginning of a major credibility crisis.